It was 2 years ago, an amazing spring day on October 31st. Spring in October? Yes. I live in New Zealand, which is 2 seasons ahead of the United States. Now, I knew something was up. It was Halloween, and my 14-year-old son was white as a ghost. No coincidence. I had no way of knowing what he was about to say. All I knew was that my child looked more stressed than I ever seen before. And then he said 2 words, "I'm gay." It was not this statement that changed everything. It was his question. When I encouraged him to come out to his friends, he asked me, "Mom, did you ever have to come out as straight?" Think about it. Did you? Did you ever have to come out as anything, like a man or a woman? Even though I had considered myself to be inclusive, I learned in that experience that I had created a story for my son, a story that was following the stereotypical rules of a binary world. I had imagined my son bringing home this amazing, funny, smarty girlfriend, and how we're gonna be best friends and get along and so on. And now I get to rewrite that story. Look, I'm not an expert or a scientist. I'm a mom who wants to be the parent that my child needs me to be. But I have so many questions because, like you, I was also raised in a binary world. So I did like anyone will do. I Google it. I found out there is a whole gender spectrum. And I was so confused. As I was researching for answers, I got even more questions. And I wonder, how many humans live on this planet? Well, there are over 7.5 billion people reported in the world, according to the all-knowing Dr. Google. And then I wonder, how can that many people fit into just few gender identities? And some of them need to come out, and some don't. Let's imagine something. What if there could be over 7.5 billion genders? That's right. A unique gender identity for every individual human body. Let's imagine this world without gender labels. People will be seen for their energy that creates their personalities and talents, instead of being not feminine enough or not masculine enough. We all have a mix of masculine and feminine energy. You know what I'm talking about? Those husbands that just love doing the dishes. I'm lucky to have one of those at home. And women that would rather grab a hammer and nails and fix that front gate instead of mopping the floors. Yes, I'm talking about me, of course. There is no tool to measure masculine or feminine energy, to determine what is too much or not enough. I was born and raised in Romania, and I don't know about you, but when my son was little, I dressed him mainly in hand-me-downs. Most of them will come from my niece. So they were pink and purple with flowers and polka dots. I was met with a lot of resistance from my friends and family because my son was a boy dressed in girl clothing and girl colors. And to me, it was just an outfit. So seriously, who decides what clothing are for who? And who decides what colors are for who? If we remove the labels, we won't see genders in pinks and blues, but in rainbows. Living in a world without gender labels, I believe that the most important thing about that is that families will become a safe space for our children to explore their courageous personalities, to get curious about their bodies, and learn about love. In this way, In this way, children will grow up with a sense strong of inclusivity among their peers. You see, my son coming out was a gift for me. It opened my eyes and made me realize that each one of us could support a world without gender labels, and it starts inside of our homes. Parents, I'm talking to you. We all know that our children learn the most valuable traits like compassion, empathy, and love from us, their parents, their guardians. Children in our life look up to us, the adults, and they learn from how we behave. We introduce the world to them. My child did not know he is a boy until I told him so. We are also sending a message to our little ones, following the binary stereotypes, when we only choose to buy dolls for our daughters and toy cars for our sons. And we reinforce that message when we decide what kind of extracurriculars our children belong in. So what can we do? We could move the focus to biology over gender. Why? Because these gender stereotypes are affecting everyone from young ages, especially within the LGBTQ groups. According to the Anxiety and Depression Association of America, up to 60% of LGBTQ individuals suffer with anxiety and depression because of their gender identity. And did you know that 40% of transgender adults reported having made a suicide attempt, with 92% of these individuals doing so before the age of 25, as reported on a Trevor Project. And let's don't forget about Jamel Miles, the 9-year-old boy who was bullied so badly for being gay right here in Colorado that he took his own life. And in a statement from his mother, she said, "Parents are either teaching them to be bullies like that, or they are treating their children like that." These are sad and alarming numbers. And I believe that we could create a future where these statistics no longer exist. A future where everyone is loved for who they are. When we move the focus to biology over gender labels, the most important thing to teach our children is that they are born with a body filled with incredible parts. We are laying the foundation for teaching them about biology. Like some have sperm capable of planting a tiny little seed that might become a baby. And some of us have an egg, not the one we scramble with bacon, but the one that is the source of life itself. When we realize that everyone could have their own gender identity, we'll begin to accept everyone's right to love any person they choose and create their own family together. Science is supporting this idea by proving that in order to create another human, all there is required is one sperm, one egg, a place for them to mix together, and poof, you got yourself a baby. It's not magic, it's science, and it is available to us, no matter who our partner is and no matter what our family looks like. So a year ago, I began my own personal research by interviewing individuals from LGBTQ community around the world. My very first guests were unforgettable, and I will share with you a glimpse of their story. This couple, Danielle and Cole, started their relationship as two high school girls that grew up in a different family structure, different social classes, and different races. As many members of LGBTQ community, they endure a ton of adversity from all directions that torn them apart. Years later, as adults, love brought them back together. And while it was a lot to celebrate, something was off. After a deep discovery process, Cole realized that she, on the inside, was he. In my interview, I was curious about Danielle's experience and the process of having her girlfriend becoming her boyfriend. Here's how she explained it to me. When you focus on the love, there is nothing in between. You might lose that human shell, and what is left is the connection that you have between your souls. Wow, you might lose a human shell, but the love still remains. This is a true story of so many others. These children, all of our children, grow up becoming who they're meant to become. As we grow and evolve, we all lose a human shell, but the love still remains. So parents, let's love our children fully and truly unconditionally by allowing them to grow into who they are meant to become. Let's teach them about love, as love doesn't know color or gender or social status. I will ask one last time. What if there could be over 7.5 billion gender identities in the world? We could strip away all the labels and focus on the expression of love through the power of inclusivity. Imagine that world.